Hi, my name is Mitchell.
And I'm Nathan, I'm in 5th grade, and I'm telling the story called Excitement, Wheels, and Danger.
So our first story about wheels begins with roller skates. And it's about my father,
He was a roller skating bootlegger boy.
his parents who lived in Brooklyn during the 1920s, during Prohibition. And Prohibition is...
When it was illegal to drink alcohol. I mean, his grandmother would make bathtub gin, and then she'd give it to my grandfather, his dad.
my dad.
And she'd give it to him and his cousins, and they'd bring it in backpacks and roller skate across the Brooklyn Bridge.
In order to get to the speakeasies. And they used to do it all the time. So, but one day, it seemed like the police were getting really suspicious.
So they made chase after my grandfather and his cousins, and they had to dodge by pedestrians, jump off curbs, zigzag between everybody, and go through alleys. They really had to get away from those cops.
So that was the day that they escaped on their roller skates from being caught and put in jail for, who knows, I don't know how long.
And it's really exciting.
And our second story has to do with railroad train wheels and cartwheels. It's about my grandparents on my mother's side. My grandfather immigrated from Russia into the United States, and the first business he had was selling junk off the back of a cart. Up near the border of Vermont, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts, a wheel fell off that cart, and he opened a junkyard. And after World War II, my parents came to live in that town, and my father's joined him in that business. Well,
Down the hill from the junkyard, there was a railroad bridge going across a fast-moving canal. And on the side of the canal, there were paper mills.
so my friend Louie and I, when we were, say 11 or 12, for fun, used to walk the railroad tracks down there. And the most exciting thing we used to do,
Railroad.
across this little bridge going over the canal,
It was so skinny that it could only fit the train.
and there were ties on it, and the ties were just held by the frame of it. There was no bed underneath them, so you looked down through the ties, and there was this really fast-flowing canal.
One day, he and his friend Louie were they walked, and they were right in the middle of the track.
We put our ears to the track to make sure no
Earlier.
trains were coming, and we didn't hear anything, but
when they got in the middle, a train came zooming towards them.
we ran to try to escape the train. There was no escape. So we hunched up our shoulders and dropped down through the railroad ties into this rapid moving canal. At the end of that canal,
An electric plant with turbines. So they had to swim really hard so they wouldn't get sucked in. And that was the day.
that was the day we escaped from being made into electricity. Well, not all of our adventures turned out quite so, I guess, well. And this is about skateboarding wheels. Nathan and I learned how to skateboard together, although he's a lot better than me now. And one day, the first day of school, last year, we went to Chelsea Park, a new skateboard park, which was quite a
Experience.
big park with bowls and with
Too
ramps.
many people.
And so he was doing some tricks. One particular trick was going off this high jump into a deep bowl and up the other side.
And so I was skateboarding, and I was just going down all these ramps, getting such speed that at this jump, I knew I could do it, so I did it. So I jumped really high, according to my dad, and landed. My wheels just slipped, and I fell off, hit my ankle, backwards, and broke it.
And broke it. And he was there on the ground of that skateboard park, and withering in pain. And I was skating another part of the park. I came and found him, and it was pretty clear it wasn't just a little bump. It was a really bad sprain or break. And so I carried him out to the cab, and we took a taxi cab to the hospital. Well, that's another story, and that's all the time we have. But as you can see, in our family there is a lot of wheels
Excitement.
and danger.